If you want high top fade dreadlocks, stop. Like, bro, stop. Cut it out. Today I'm answering your questions from Discord. If you're not on the Great Nation Discord server, click the link down below and join. You can ask any question you would like about dreadlocks. Don't post stupid stuff on there, okay? If I see it, you're out of there. Bro, you're out of there, bro. This is why you need to not do high top fade dreadlocks. I'm growing out my sides and back for a full head. When should I consider getting them twisted? I find a lot of people asking me the same question of growing out the sides and the back. When should they do it? How should they do it? When should they start locking that hair up on the sides? So before I answer this question, this is my warning to all of you guys out there. Start your locks with a full set of dreads first, and then see how that feels. And then if you don't like it, then do a high top fade later, because it's easier to go from a full set of locks to a high top fade set of locks versus going from a high top fade of locks to a full set of dreads, because you have to grow out your sides. And now what that means is you're gonna have to trim the hair on the top of the head and grow the hair on the sides of your head until they even out. So it's just a long process. So make sure to do a full set of locks before you even get into this. And of course, if you're completely sold on having a high top fade of locks, then go for it. But I found when I was completely sold on a high top fade of locks, I eventually wanted a full set of locks. So that's why I ended up cutting off my first set of locks, and then now I have full set of locks, high top set. Anyway, I cut my yeah, you guys get it. Now, when should you consider getting the sides and the back of your head retwisted? You're gonna go through the same process that you went with the locks that you already have. I would recommend starting at 2 to 4 inches and then go with whatever method you think is best for your hair type. If you have a straighter hair type, I would recommend doing twist and rip. And with that, you would really want 4 to 6 inches of hair length. If you have a tighter curl pattern and you're in the 4 range, then you would want to do twisting with gel. But realistically, I would recommend you to get instant locks, because you're gonna run into the issue of the locks on top of your head rubbing up against the sides and the back of your head, unraveling all the locks that you just created. That is if you do twisting with gel. Of course it's possible, but you're gonna find yourself doing more maintenance than you would like. So did we all learn a lesson? Don't do high top fade first. Do it once you find out that you really want it. Can you change your parts? Meaning, can you change your sections in the way that they are? 100%, yes you can. But this needs to stop too. You have to figure out your sections first, because your sections are the most important part of the locking process. These are things that you want to avoid when you already have your locks fully mature. But I personally fell for the same mistake when I started this set of locks right here. I originally had maybe 50 dreadlocks on my head, and then I went back and separated some into 2 and some into even 4. And right now I have exactly 150 dreadlocks. So I went back and created different sections by splitting the locks. So yes, it's possible. Just keep in mind that it can be damaging to the hair. I was extremely careful when doing this process, and I would recommend you to do the same. And if you want to change your sections, do it ASAP. Don't wait, because the more you wait, the more mature your locks are going to become, and the harder it's going to be to actually do the process. How often should I oil my scalp? And should I oil my actual dreads or nah? When you look at a hair oil, it should give you directions on the back. For example, I'm going to read you the hair growth oil from Greatlocs.com. And this really is going to be a general idea for what to do with oil on your hair. And this hair oil in particular provides relief from an itchy, dry scalp while aiding in hair growth, and can be used daily or as needed. For best results, use 3 times a week. So depending on what results you want to get out of it will determine how often you should use it. If you're doing it to deal with an itchy scalp, then use the oil as often as your scalp becomes itchy. If you're using it as a hair growth aid, then use it as recommended, just like it says, 3 times a week. Now, should you oil your actual dreads? I'll read you the directions on the back of this. It says apply the oil to clean hair from the scalp to the tips. Make sure that all the locks are evenly coated with the oil. So yes, you do add the oil to your actual locks, but the biggest thing is to add the oil evenly throughout your locks. You don't want to submerge your locks into the oil. You just want to make sure that they're evenly coated. How do I know what hair type I got? For those that don't know, it's very important for you to understand your hair type in order for you to pick out what method you want to choose in order to get your locks. For example, if you have straight hair, it's best to choose a straight hair method versus you having a tight curl pattern, and you can choose really whatever method you would like. But it's actually very simple to figure out your hair type. If you don't know, I would recommend watching the video that I linked down below. The video is just simply titled, "What is your hair type?" In this video, I'm going to walk you through what the hair types actually look like, and then you'll be able to compare it to your hair, and I'll break down what method you can choose with your hair type specifically. Are you tired of using products that don't give you the results you want for your dreadlocks? Look no further than Greatlocs.com. Our specially formulated products are designed to nourish and maintain your healthy dreadlocks, giving you the strong and vibrant locks you've always wanted. Don't settle for less. Choose Greatlocs.com for all of your dreadlock needs. How do I get dandruff out of my starter locks? Dandruff really only comes with starter locks if you've been dealing with dandruff before you even had locks. So based on the question, that lets me know that your scalp just reacts differently, meaning that you're most likely going to have to wash your hair more frequently than other people, because you're most likely not washing your hair right now because you have starter locks. Dandruff is essentially just a dry scalp flaking off into the hair. So with your scalp being dry, then that means that you're going to have to actually wash your hair more. Although everyone's scalps are different, you can train your scalp to be a certain way. So if your scalp is dry, then that means wash it more, because when you wash it, your hair is going to develop oils quicker. Anytime you wash your hair, it's almost like communicating with your scalp. If you wash your hair, your scalp now knows that it needs to produce more oils, because your scalp understands that you just washed out all of its natural oils. So now it's going to produce more oils, meaning that you shouldn't have as dry of a scalp. So that would be step number 1, to increase the frequency of washing your hair. So that means that the moment your scalp feels dry, you should wash it. But don't add the oils to your scalp before washing your hair, and make sure that you wash your hair completely, then add the oils in. What that's going to do is going to allow the oils that you add to your scalp to complement the oils that you already have on your scalp. But yeah, these are 2 great products to do exactly what I just said. So you can wash your hair with an ACV shampoo, which is very great for dry scalp, and also followed up with a hair oil. But if you follow those steps and really respond to your scalp when you need to, then you'll start to see that your scalp is going to respond properly. But how do you get the dandruff out of your starter locks? Just wash every single dreadlock individually. I'm telling you, it takes a lot of time, but it's going to save you a lot of frustration than if you were to wash your hair completely, going in, trying to get everything out, and then you find out that you washed out your actual locks. So take the time to wash them individually. I'm really having trouble with understanding the best way to keep my scalp moisturized with my locks. Can anyone help? I did address this with the last question, and if you feel that your scalp needs to be moisturized, you don't want to add a conditioner to your hair, because then that can just add buildup to the hair. But if you're asking for your scalp to be moisturized, then it's most likely that your scalp is dry. You have to train your scalp to be moisturized, and that comes from washing the hair when it's necessary. So wash your hair every time you feel that it's dry, and that'll train your scalp to produce more oils. Is putting locking gel in your hair 3 to 4 times a week without washing normal? I wouldn't say this is a good thing. Anytime you do a retwist, you should wash your hair thoroughly before doing the retwist. If you continue to put locking gel on top of locking gel, it's just going to result in buildup, and you're going to have very gunky and very nasty locks. So be very careful and don't do this. If you want your hair to lock up faster, you need to actually get the locking gel out of your hair. That's why it's important to get a locking gel that rinses out very well. And if you find that your locking gel isn't holding good enough, you need to get a maximum hold or a firm hold locking gel. Don't use generic locking gels. But remember, wash your hair thoroughly before doing a retwist. Don't continue to add gel on top of gel. Can I turn twists into locks? That's really essentially what locks are. If you're talking about twists as in coils, then yes, those eventually turn into locks, because that's how you traditionally start out locks. And it's simply called the twisting with gel method, where you twist your hair with gel and then allow it to lock up over time, and then just maintain it by twisting it. Now, if you're talking about 2-strand twists and turning those into locks, that can be done as well. It's the same way of doing just regular twisting with gel, but in this case, you either leave it in the 2-strand twist and allow it to lock up, which creates a bigger section, or you do a twist out and then allow those single strands to lock up over time. But every single method you choose, you have to come back and do maintenance so that you maintain those sections, so that those sections can eventually lock up. Do you guys wash your hair with a do-rag, or is it okay to do it without? I've had my dreads for 4 months and I don't want to mess anything up. If you don't want your dreadlocks to unravel when washing them, especially if they're starter locks, then just wash each dreadlock individually. And you can do this in the shower. You just simply take the shampoo, apply it to your hair, but go back and twist the hair as you're washing it. I did this in the beginning stages of this set of locks, and trust me, it pays off. So many people have went to a salon or a loctician and paid hundreds of dollars to get their hair twisted, and went back home and washed their hair, and boom, the dreadlocks are gone. It's because it takes time. You have to keep your hair in the sections that they are created in, so that the hair can eventually lock up. But if you don't want to go through and wash every lock individually, because yes, it does take time, but you're going to get the best results that way. But if you don't want to do that, then yes, you can wash your hair with the do-rag. I've done it personally myself. And it's the same way as if you're washing waves with the do-rag. You just put the do-rag on, put the shampoo over the do-rag, and wash it just like that. But you're not going to get the best results if you do it that way. I would recommend all of you guys just wash all the locks individually. It takes a little bit of time, but it gets the best results. Hey, can someone help please? It's been 3 or so weeks since my last retwist, but I let my hair get bad. It needs washing. A retwist, like, it's really bad. Surely it's not bad if I get a retwist tomorrow. One thing I want to tell you guys, your hair can never get too bad. If you still have your locks, there's always hope for it to get back to how you like it. If your roots have overgrown, all it takes is a separation and retwist. And if you think that it's impossible for your locks to get back, just get some inspiration by typing in dreadlock transformations, and you'll see a whole bunch of people letting their hair go crazy and then getting a retwist to fix it. How can I grow out my sides without them looking bad? And this goes back to the very first question with the high top fade. There's no really way around it, and by looking bad, that's your personal perspective. So you either got to change your perspective or not do it. So really, you just got to change your perspective on the situation and just grow out the sides. If your hair is already long enough to cover up the sides and the back of your head when growing it out, then just do that. But if it's not long enough yet and you still don't want it to look bad, then just wait for your locks on the top of your head to grow long enough to where they cover up the sides and the back, and then start growing out the sides and the back. Whew, those are some good questions. We're gonna be actually ranking your guys' dreadlocks. I'm excited. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Are you tired of using harsh chemicals on your dreadlocks? Try Greatlocs.com dreadlock products. Our products are made with nourishing ingredients to keep your dreadlocks healthy and strong. Say goodbye to the damaged dreadlocks and hello to the healthy locks with Greatlocs.com dreadlock products.